Have you ever wondered why some people just know how business works, while the rest of us are stuck Googling what's ROI every Monday morning? Well, today we are going to dive into something that's honestly way cooler than it sounds: business acumen. But don't worry, no jargons, no lectures at all. Just three fun, unexpected stories that will change the way you think about everyday business decisions. Whether you are a designer, a founder, or just someone trying to make smarter moves at work, this one's for you. Let's go. But before I start, a quick question. What do you get when you mix a humble desi cumin soda, 10 rupees pricing, and three cousins with more guts than money? Well, you get Lahori Zira, the brand that basically walked into a Coke-dominated market. Let me take you into this story, which honestly is one of the best examples of business acumen I have seen outside of a Netflix startup drama. Before anything else, logo, packaging, branding, they did what most people forget to do. They tested their product in the wild, not on Google Forms, not on a "Hello sir, how's the taste?" call. They physically stood outside food joints in Chandigarh, handed out bottles, and asked for feedback. Real feedback from actual drinkers. They built proof before pitch decks. Yes, 10 rupees. You are reading that right. It was an entry point pricing to own the streets before the shelves. They understood their target audience. At 10 rupees, it became an impulse buy, not a luxury think piece. In a country where 10 rupees feels like loose change, they turn that coin into a recurring transaction, daily affordable with mass penetration mode on. Here's where it gets juicy. They didn't go to random distributors. They targeted only those who already dealt with big brands, the Coke, Pepsi types, to gain visibility and trust. That's what you call strategic channel placement. They didn't want just placement, they wanted credibility by association. Didn't spend on marketing, their partner network was the brand rollout. And here's the twist. They got their first big distributor to agree to buy. But when they asked for payment, the guy goes with the classic reply: let the stock go first, and if the customers buy, I'll pay you later. But these guys had one rule, the no credit rule. So they said, cool. They went out, took their own stock, went to the shops where this distributor usually sells, pitched the drink themselves, gave free testers, and got cash bookings right then and there. They didn't wait for the distributors to believe in them and their product. They created the belief by proving demand. By the end of that hustle, 50% of the stock was already sold in cash. They called the distributor and said, so 50% of your stock is already sold in cash. The rest is ready to go. Vans are still parked. Pay full or lose both the market and the margin. That is what happens when business acumen is not just a concept but a muscle. Now, I don't know about you, but I kind of want a Lahori Zira right now. Okay, now let's quickly time travel to 1987, a time I was busy planning my vacation to this beautiful planet called Earth. Just kidding. Let's recap one of the classics, The Secret of My Success. Starring Michael J. Fox as a guy who moves to New York full of dreams and a business degree, ready to crush it. What does he get? The mailroom, because life, obviously. But here's where it gets interesting. Does he cry about it? No. Does he update his LinkedIn bio to aspiring thought leader? No. He creates a fake executive identity. Sneaks into board meetings, started attending meetings, signing memos, making strategy calls, and nobody notices. Basically, this guy ran a double corporate life, attended meetings in a suit during one part of the day, and delivered mail in the same office during the other part. Now, I'm not saying we fake our job titles, but what's the real flex here? This guy had business acumen before he even had a business card. He researched hard to understand how the company functioned, how decisions were made, who had power, who had influence. Figured out who to talk to, how to talk to, and when to throw in a confident nod. A nod like he belonged. That's peak business acumen. Not the jargon, not the corner office, but knowing how to speak the language of impact, knowing how the business actually runs and where you can quietly step in and make an impact. Okay, designers, now let's move on to our third story and talk about brand. Here's an example from an event that I attended earlier this year, and it's about Policy Bazaar, called the CTA Color Experiment Fiasco. So, at Policy Bazaar, the team once decided to shake things up and experiment with the CTA button of one of their products. They switched from their usual color blue tone to a bright orange, thinking it would pop, stand out, and get more clicks. But as per the records of the day, clicks actually dropped. The traffic fell enormously. People weren't just clicking the new button as much. The Policy Bazaar office went crazy with calls, meetings, questions, raised pros, and whatnot. But what happened? The users subconsciously associated the original colors with trust, security, and go ahead. The orange felt too aggressive or unfamiliar in that context, creating hesitation. Policy Bazaar learned a big lesson the hard way. Small design choices can have big business consequences. They switched back to their trusted color scheme and conversations bounced back. As designers, it's not just about what looks cool or trendy. What looks cool on a mood board can be a total disaster in the real world. It's about understanding the business acumen, the user psychology, and the business goals with the data. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay connected for more such content.